Welcome everyone, my name is The Clever Fool. Today we'll be playing the first episode of Grand Dukes, an official campaign that comes with the Lords of the West DLC. The first episode is titled A Kingdom Divided. We'll be playing as the Burgundians here, a brand new civilization, and there is actually an achievement associated with this very first level called No Wheels, where we beat the mission without constructing a single siege weapon. Let's go ahead and get started.
Tomorrow, when Joan of Arc burns at the stake, I want you to watch carefully. Not the young woman in the flames, but the men who sentenced her to burn. The English will carry out the sentence, but when nothing but her ashes remains, it is the Grand Duke of the West, our Duke of Burgundy, that will have seized a triumph. For you see, this spectacle is not really about the Maid of Orleans. Her death is only as important as the benefit that it brings us. What burns on that pyre is not Joan the person, but La Pucelle, the symbol of the French resistance. You are young, my son. You have never seen our duchy as anything but a powerful state. But we were not always so mighty. In the greater tale of history, Burgundy is but a newborn power, carved from the lands of the kingdoms and empires that surround us. Our ascent began with John the Fearless, the father of our current duke. Up until then, the Dukes of Burgundy and the Armagnac faction had been equal rivals, fighting for influence at the court of the Mad King of France. Louis, the leader of the Armagnac faction, had been using the funds of the French crown for years to stifle John in any way possible. He also boasted of having bedded John's wife. Tiring of these insults, and Louis's abuse of royal influence, John decided to end their rivalry for good. Just 3 years into his reign, he sent 15 men to stab the Armagnac Duke to death on the streets of Paris in broad daylight. It was a true show of force. In one bloody act, John established himself as the most powerful duke in France. The Armagnac faction, now leaderless, began preparing for a long war. To keep the Burgundians occupied, they supported a revolt in the city of Liège, which was ruled by John's brother-in-law, the Duke of Bavaria. John the Fearless would not let such unrest spoil his plans for the Grand Duchy. And so he marched his armies north, to a small village outside Liège called Auteuil.
Really liking the voice acting here so far. That was really well done storytelling. I like that the starting cinematic is a bit longer. I also like the throwback to the original Joan of Arc campaign with the Burgundians here. It'll be very interesting to play as this new civilization from a new perspective as well. So our main objectives here are to capture the city of Liège by destroying 2 of its 3 castles. Remember, once again, that we cannot build siege weapons in this mission if we're hoping to get the achievement. Our hints tell us that the Burgundians are restricted to a population limit of 150 and cannot advance to the Imperial Age. 6 villages in gray that support the rebels are located in the vicinity. You can plunder their trade workshops, mills, and markets for additional resources. You can trade with your ally for additional gold income, but ensure that your enemies do not wreak havoc on your trade routes. John the Fearless has recruited siege engineers from the Flemish cities whose expertise provides the Burgundians with the means to construct capped rams. Now that last in is wonderful, but again, we're not building any siege this mission. Our scouts report that John the Fearless and his army in purple have assembled to the west, accompanied by some villagers which can set up a camp. The city of Liège in Seine is located to the southeast. The rebels will defend the city fiercely with skirmishers, spearmen, and archers, nothing super strong. As long as the city's supply camps in green remain intact, Liège will also make use of gunpowder, units such as hand cannoneers and organ guns. Okay, so we're restricted to Castle Age. These two units are pretty nasty to have to deal with. Your ally, the Duke of Bavaria, in yellow, has set up his camp to the north. Eager to take back Liège, the Duke will send heavy cavalry and monks into battle. 6 nearby villages in gray support the rebels in Liège, but are barely defended and can easily be plundered. Wonderful. So it looks like teal is our main enemy, green is our secondary enemy, and the villages are some free resources for us to grab. We get to play as purple, one of the best colors to play as in Age of Empires, but then again, which color is not one of the best colors? Cool. Alright, let's go ahead and get this party started. I am a little bit rusty, I will say.
Armagnacs are inciting the local population to take up arms and rebel. John, let us put an end to this insubordination.
Liking these new voice lines already. Man, that's so fresh. Okay, so we have a new secondary objective here, which is to loot some markets, mills, and trade workshops to get additional resources, as mentioned in the hints. Our main focus right now should be on getting some additional villagers out to boost our economy. Our population limit is 150 here, so we can afford to expand significantly here. Lots of berry bushes. And actually, let's take a quick pause. I'm sure there's a lot of great videos already being output by the likes of Viper, T West, or New the Wolf, covering these civilizations, so I won't go through this in depth as I'm more focused on playing the campaigns. But the Burgundians are a cavalry civilization. Their economic upgrades are all available in Age earlier, so being restricted to the Castle Age will not prevent us from getting our Imperial Age eco upgrades, which is pretty cool. The Cavalier upgrades available in the Castle Age, which sounds insane, especially with the stable tech minus 50, but actually isn't super insane because we don't get bloodlines. So it's effectively a cheaper way to we get to paladins faster and cheaper, and it's like a stronger knight in the Castle Age. It's not super strong from what I've fiddled around with so far on my own, but it is pretty cool. They do have very good mid-game cavalry, and these cavaliers should seriously help us here. It's really cool when the level encourages utilizing the civilization bonuses, and I really appreciate that this first level is already making that available for us. Our unique units are the Coustilier, a cavalry with a charge attack, which we'll demonstrate later, and the Flemish militia, infantry infantry batter combats with cavalry. I have no idea what that means. Maybe it's good against cavalry, I'm not sure. But it's a unique unit that you can turn your villagers into with a special unique technology that these guys have. It's pretty wild. Again, there's plenty of other videos that cover this, so I'm not going to go through all this in depth. The vineyards converts all of our food into gold and allows farms to slowly generate gold. It's slower. It's like a relic, basically, for like 40 villagers or something. It's super slow. And Flemish Revolution, which I already mentioned, which changes villagers to Flemish militia. Our team bonus is that relics generate food in addition to gold, which is pretty cool. Typically, I'm not super worried about... what was I about to say? Typically, I'm not super worried about food if I'm already collecting relics. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted there for a sec by this hand cannoneer icon here. I don't think I've seen that before. The green, like kind of dotted line around the box there. That kind of took me for a loop there. I was trying to figure out what that was. But yeah, the Burgundians have a pretty cool tech tree overall. Their cavalry is pretty unique. They get the Cavalier early and the cheaper upgrade, so their mid-game cavalry is pretty good, even though their paladins can be somewhat weak in the late game. Having paladins at all is actually still pretty good. Full infantry here, by the looks of it. They don't get supplies, which is interesting, but they do still get arson. Their archery range does not look great with no arbalester, no heavy cavalry archer, no thumb ring. So their archery range does not look great. While their siege workshop also doesn't look super strong. They do get bombard cannon, which is nice, but otherwise they're not getting any other final siege workshop upgrades. The blacksmith is okay. They do get Bracer, their archers are already bad, so missing the armor is not super bad. But having Bracer is good because that means that on the water at least they're pretty good. Speaking of water, their water is actually quite nice. I don't know if you heard my tummy rumble there. Sorry about that. Their water is quite nice. They do lack some like late game techs here, but overall it's pretty complete, and they shouldn't have any problems on the water in the mid game at the very least. University looks pretty good. Lack of siege engineers again kind of stinks, indicating that this civ is not the best with siege maybe. But they do get Bombard Tower, which is pretty cool. So they have decent defenses, as well as a decent looking monastery, and very, very strong economy here. Again, all the techs are available an age earlier. I believe Wheelbarrow is as well. And they have access to every single ecotech. So these guys have a really, really, really strong economy. So I'm going to be looking to leverage that, and that's really cool as well. Nice, so we actually have John the Fearless as a hero unit here as well. I'm going to start looking for villages to raid here for additional resources. And what that means is I'm going to send this military out. Remember guys, military is pretty much useless if you're not specifically saving them for some particular reason or using them in combat. The Duke is our ally, gotta remember that. And I think I'm going to go for mostly stables here. So I'll put some stables here at the front. Spend some of that wood. Continue building. And start making my way south here to take a look at the villages. Is this a village up here, actually? I might go for that village instead. Now, it's been a little while since I've made a commentary. It's been a little while since I've actually even played the game, so do forgive me if I'm somewhat slow. This is only a 2-sword mission, though, so it shouldn't be too bad. By the time I was playing, or in recent months at least, all the missions I've been playing have been the 3-sword missions, and I've been clearing them fairly handily, so I think I'm doing a decent job. Oops. Just a tiny little bit of lag there. That spearman got massive one-on-one value with this knight. Do you have a blacksmith? We do not. Do we even have a mill? That's a market. I don't think we have a mill. I don't see one at least. So I'm going to go ahead and build one as well. Let's build one like right here, top of the deer. Have these guys hunt this boar. Now, unfortunately, these farms are not going to be as efficient as I'd hoped because I failed to research the farm upgrade in time. But we should be able to get ourselves some nice extra resources from raiding this village here. So there's a lot to talk about. I'm super excited for this update overall. I'm really glad that the game is still doing very healthy, even after so many years. It's wild that I'm still playing Age of Empires, man. To me, that's just absolutely incredible, and lots of props to the devs for continuing this great work. $10, again, it seems kind of unreasonable, but honestly, it's kind of like a symbol of support for the devs for me at this point, and the content overall is still very good.
The villagers had stored in this mill will now feed the Burgundian army.
And it's really amazing to see the community grow and to see that the competitive aspect of the game is also doing very strong. Okay, let's pick up Heavy Plow here and start picking up Knights. Bust down the trade workshop for additional resources. And rotate some of these food gatherers over to gold just to balance things out. Let's get a few
Lumber
more
and
wood
stone was
choppers.
stored in this trade workshop. We will make good use of these resources.
Avance. That sounds familiar, actually. That sounds like something I've heard before. Is it because the Flemish exist in Age of Empires 3? If that's the case, then yeah, I've probably heard Avance before. Did I build that blacksmith yet? No, I didn't. Let's go ahead and build it now.
Lumber and stone was stored in this trade workshop. We will make good use of these resources.
Yes, we will.
It's time to take back what is mine. Charge, my knights, charge! What are you waiting for, John the Fearless? Join me!
Wow, that is some excellent voice acting there. Actually, that's amazing. I'm really that's you could really feel the emotion. That was super cool. Makes me want to follow him, but unfortunately, I am still raiding villagers. I would like to get a castle up at some point. Let's build another TC out here at the front. And we need to remember we are not in the business of creating any siege weapons, because we're going for the No Wheels achievement. I'm sure what that basically means is we're going to be using a lot of Cavalier. Let's continue sending knights out. It doesn't look like we're in any danger. Perhaps we can get some more gold miners. And even grab some trade carts here as well. Where are these trade carts going? Over to this market. Let's have you guys build us a university so we can start learning things a little bit faster. And you guys go on stone, get a few more villas on wood here. I guess technically there's no reason for us to kill the villagers, right? So if I am merciful, I guess I won't kill them. Let's pick up handcart. Yeah, these voice lines are definitely super familiar.
Every coin that we take is one less coin that our enemies can spend. There are many to be found in this market. The grain that the villagers had stored in this mill will now feed the Burgundian army.
Oops, meant to build a mining camp there. Looks like we've intercepted a teal attack there. That's fine.
We will make
That's good.
good use of these resources.
Let's pick up caravan there to increase our gold influx.
Enemies in Paris have renewed the charges against you for freeing France from this insane tyrant.
They seem not to take me seriously. I will show them. No more mercy to our enemies. Spare no one.
So we've moved on to killing every single villager? Is that what we're doing now? That's pretty insane.
These simple-minded rebels in Liège seem to think that our scouts will discover their secret gunpowder depots. How wrong they are. Destroy the depots, so the Liège rebels can no longer make use of their cannons.
There we are, picking up the Imperial Age tech there, actually. We just lost a ton of our units here, so we do need to be a little bit careful here. Let's run backwards just a little bit and build a castle. Ooh, that castle looks real nice on top of this hill here. Oh, John's stats are actually not incredible, so we gotta be kind of careful here. Let's lure him back to this TC. Kill off these pikemen. And then clean up. I don't want to lose our hero for no reason here. Right, yellow is our ally, so there's no need to worry about him. I thought those were more enemies for a sec. That would have been interesting. And I guess we will try out some of these Custilier as well. I just want to try them out. They seem pretty cool. And while we're at it, once we regather some knights, I'm going to go ahead and continue raiding the other villages. Custilier look like they train pretty quickly too. That's good. Now let's pick up Cavalier and send our boys over to this northern village. We've finished raiding, I think, 2 out of the 6. Yeah, there's no more buildings of note there. Let's go up north now to finish these guys off. I actually don't really feel a strong need to train any more crossbowmen. I guess I should if I am being super careful here. But let's get a couple more stables up. Let's get a couple more archery ranges out just in case we want more. They do have pikemen after all. And Custilier are probably pretty good against pikemen actually because their charge attack will recharge. We can clear out this village a little bit more completely so that we have more space for our carts.
Noctis rebels somehow managed to break into my camp. Come to my aid as quickly as possible, John.
Every coin that we take is one less coin that our enemies can spend.
Absolutely. I'm coming to your aid, sir. Getting more coin. Now we have Cavaliers on our side, so we should be very strong. Let's finish off their siege here. And work on getting these depots down too. I'll probably end up building a castle in this camp just to make sure I don't need to worry. So I've got some peace of mind. And I'll look towards killing off this depot first, actually. Let's do that. So let's head southwards.
Bonjour. Immédiatement. Si. Ibati.
Oh, there's some militia over here that we didn't kill off.
Bonjour. Si. Ibouche du motive.
Okay, let's not lose John the Fearless for no reason. Let's back him up. These calves can fight to the death for all that really matters to me. We'll be able to get plenty of them out eventually. And let's just keep the calf spam going. They look so cool, man, with the Bardishas, I think. At least they look like Bardishas.
Si chasse. Ibati.
Ibati.
Let's get the remainder of our housing online. Looks like Mr. Fearlessman made it back home in one piece. Let's finish up with the southern depot and then start moving over to the next depot. Could build a castle up here as a bit of a staging ground.
We have destroyed one of the rebels' gunpowder stores site.
One depot down. That is a lot of enemy units. Let's actually run from these guys. And seek to fight underneath this castle here.
To overcome the walls of Liege, we will need siege weapons. It would be wise to start constructing some, John.
Nope. It would not be wise, because it would rob us of our precious achievement. Come on, man. I thought you read the memo. Let's go finish off supply depot number 2. And keep these bad boys pumping out. Lots of resources on this map, which is cool. There's an attack force here, but I'm not too worried. We might even be able to take them out with the force that we've got right now here.
Both gunpowder depots are in ruins, sire. Without their cannons, the rebels will be an easier target.
Supply camp down. Very good. This ram won't stand a chance. Now we're just pouring Cavalier at their base. couple more villages to raid here.
Vosotros.
Si compreux. Immediately compreux. Ibati.
Now we pretty much just run them over with our heavy cavalry here. I hope we got all the techs. Yes, we indeed did get all the techs. Very good.
Si chasse.
Oh wow, we actually lost all of our units here. How did that happen? Wait, what? How did that actually happen? Wouldn't hurt to get a few crossbowmen out. Let's start busting down this gate. We can use petards to get the job done. Unless, do those count as siege units? Just in case. Just in case, I'm gonna not use them. We'll get some crossbows out to help deal with the pikemen without just wasting our units completely.
Bonjour. Si.
And think about castle dropping these guys. Let's do that right here. I don't think we even need to raid every village. But we might want to do that just for completion's sake, right? You know, it would be helpful.
Return him to
Oh.
safety.
Well, there goes John. What I was about to say was, it would be kind of nice if Yellow produced siege units. I understand that they can't do everything for us, but come on, cut us some slack. We're trying our best here. The Castilier one-shotting villages is pretty scary as well. We're low on gold here. Let's invest in a few more carts. Let's grab a few more gold miners. Stick them over here.
Immédiatement.
And these guys build a camp. You can go mine gold. All this well in the world. You guys can start going for this castle here. No, the text that we really need here. Oh wow! Hey, this is cool. So the building, that's right, the building foundation no longer scouts. That's such a cool change, man. I really approve of that change. It was actually somewhat busted of an exploit, if you ask me. So I can't mindlessly spam here. Keep in mind the last episode that I played here was the yellow turbans. And that was the definition. That was the definition of mindless spam because I had infinite resources. I gotta make sure that I'm microing at least a little bit here.
Si. Ivai.
Are there any resources for us to take anywhere? I guess it's this gold mine. We can share, right? I'm sure we can share.
Si. Immédiatement. Ivati.
And we're actually losing a little bit of momentum here. The front is not looking great.
Immédiatement.
Out of stone. Is there any stone to mine anywhere? None that I can see right away.
Immédiatement.
Lumber and stone was stored in this trade work.
I guess I can head over to this gold
We
pile
will
then.
make good use of these resources.
Craft.
This might even be a good chance for us to research the vineyards tech soon, where it transfers everything to gold. We have a lot of food stacked up. I might actually consider doing that. It'd be a nice test of the new Civ's capabilities, right? It would temporarily put us completely off food, though.
Bonjour.
I think the key here is to take out production buildings where we can. I'm not sure if these guys get infinite unit spam, but it kind of looks like it. In any sense, they have tons of resources, so we'll need to see. I think I need to coordinate my attacks a little bit better here. I'm nowhere near the pop cap, and I'm not even utilizing my current military super well. They asked for no siege, and no siege they shall get. Now, fortunately, they don't seem to be producing monks. If they produced monks, that would have been a nightmare for me. Let's sell off some of this wood. Oh man, what a sell price. Now I've got plenty of gold and food to throw away. Let's make a coordinated attack on this castle now. Now, since I'm fighting the Franks, I should mention, they've finally received a nerf. I believe their foragers don't actually work as well as they did before. We just lost a crap ton of crossbows to that castle. I wonder if they improved the AI at all. I'm not really used to the AI specifically focus firing my rage units. Do these guys have murder holes? Oh, it doesn't look like they do. So that might explain why they were shooting at my archers here. Now, siege weapons would have made this part of the mission much more straightforward. We unfortunately do not have that luxury. I'm not even going to bother raiding that village. Man, if only I could just train one ram. One capped ram would make this so much less painful. But sadly, I do not think that that is going to be in the cards for us. I guess what I could try to do is I could try to counter castle drop, right? Let's do that. And in fact, I'm kind of kicking myself for not thinking of that earlier. Castle, after all, is not a siege unit.
Bonjour. Vos ordres?
Let's have these guys mine up this stone over here. And instead of building a mining camp, I'm actually just having them build a TC. Let's regather our strength before making this final push.
Vos ordres? Ibati.
Man, assaulting castles is so painful without siege. I guess there's a reason why they call it the Castle Age, am I right, boys? Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Let's kill off this ram here. Our KD ratio is going to be so bad. Cool, we got a castle up. This should be very, very helpful for us now. Let's castle up this castle here as well. We'll do it once we have some military presence there. But having that castle fire should be real helpful for us under all these withering attacks. They don't seem to have murder holes though, so we are in good shape in that regard. And the Duke of Bavaria is helping us somewhat, at least with a few meat shields here and there. Once we knock down one castle, however, we should be in real good shape. It's just a matter of getting that initial momentum and carrying it through. The important thing is to make sure that we don't let rams stay underneath our castle for too long. But now we've kind of got a two-pronged attack going here. This is good though. This is feeling like a real 2-star mission. Similar, kind of on par with like Gajamada so far, with the spam, I guess. But again, since we gotta also have to account for the fact that we are playing this a bit suboptimally, since we're going for the no wheels achievement.
Immédiatement. In.
And slowly but surely, this castle is starting to go down here. So we are making meaningful progress. Only 658 HP left. And now these two castles are kind of firing at each other. We have the HP advantage here, though. Whoa, we got rams coming. Hold on a sec, let's fix this castle up. Let's get these rams down. Our castle is actually not looking so healthy here either. We have Moonwalking Knights. Glad to see that that's still part of this patch. Man, these castles are very beefy. I've never had to take down quite such a difficult castle without any siege before.
Immédiatement. I bâti.
Immédiatement. Elimine.
Should keep producing units here. Let's not let the flow die down. And there we go. The castle at long last is finished off. What that means is that we can truly dedicate some time to taking out some of these production buildings. There's another castle in the back here, so there's actually 3 total castles.
Bonjour. Irreparai. I bâti.
In particular, the barracks are what we want to go for here. Barracks primarily counter our anti-building measure, which is the cav. Now that I think about it, it might actually be good to invest in infantry. Infantry champions absolutely white pikemen, and they get arson, right? So I think maybe it would be a good idea to tech into those. I didn't even think of that. Let's in fact try that right now. Grab some barracks. 8 barracks ought to do it. And keep these guys rolling in. We've hit our pop cap though. That's really good. Showing us the momentum is truly in our favor now.
Bonjour.
And yes, Yellow is coming in with rams. Our hero. Let's go for this castle. It's a nice looking city, not gonna lie. And there's actually still a village back here too. They actually have a siege workshop back here. I didn't even realize that. There's some gold piles as well. That would require like basically complete encirclement of the city, though. So I don't think we need to go that far per se.
Fra. Si, immédiatement. Fra. Ivan. In.
Let's go for the Burgundian vineyards just to test it out. I do think that it's pretty much irrelevant though at this point. It's just a matter of time now.
Si compre. I bati.
We've sort of hit the tipping point and passed it.
Vos ordres.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Vos ordres.
Oh, we don't even get champions. That's right. The fact that we had Cavalier kind of tricked me into thinking we were the Imperial Age, but we're not actually there, so we only get Longswordsmen. So the switch wouldn't have been as strong as I would have hoped anyway. It's a very nice looking city, though. I will give them that.
Vos ordres. Si, Ivan. I bouge tout beau.
We have so much gold now, but no food.
Liege has surrendered, but I will not show mercy to these traitors. Drive all rebels out of their hiding places. Hang them all. Wipe out their entire families while you are absent.
Holy crap, bro. That's ruthless. That is ruthless. But there we go. We got Burgundian victory, because this is my first time playing as the Burgundians, but we've also picked up the secondary achievement as well, which is the No Wheels achievement. Super fun. Very, very cool scenario so far. Gotta say, the map design so far and the voice acting has been super, super good. It's I'm not gonna say that the previous voice acting was bad, because the previous voice acting was also good. But the delivery on these lines have been excellent, so I'm very happy to see that.
The Battle of Auteuil was a decisive victory for John the Fearless. He rode in triumph to Paris, and his armies entered the city without a fight. The Armagnac plot had failed. But since they had not openly waged war on him, John could not yet exact his revenge by force. Instead, John had the 15-year-old son of the deceased duke brought before him. Still mourning the death of his father, the boy was forced to forgive his father's murderer in public. A cruel act, you say? And that it was. But remember, my son, that cruelty was not John's goal, only a means to an end. By orchestrating this public display, John showed not just the boy, but the entire house of Armagnac on their knees, kissing his feet. It was one insult too many for the proud Armagnacs, and the struggle between the two factions would soon turn into open war.
That's wild, man. I get the cruelty for political gain. I understand that. And it's not like I'm even looking down on that. Honestly, props for having the balls to do so. But dang, I would really feel bad if I was in that kid's position. The guy just murdered my dad, and I have to forgive him in public. That's brutal. Obviously, I would not wish that on any of my friends or even any of my enemies. What few I may have. I don't think I have any enemies, but yeah. So far, the story's been extremely compelling, and it's a breath of fresh air. This is a super, super fun mission overall. We left some of the villages unraided, but we didn't need to raid every single one. I don't think at any point we're in danger of losing. if you don't build up your army early enough, and if you don't take care of the gunpowder, I do think you'll have significantly more trouble with this mission. But again, if you're running any sort of siege weaponry whatsoever, you'll be fine, I think. You'll be able to finish this mission much faster than I did. I think if I had to do it again, I would have thought of the castle drop a little bit earlier. And I would have not sent my guys into the grinder for as long as I did. But other than that, super fun mission. I had a great time. Thank you guys all for watching and for your continued support. My name's been The Clever Fool. And I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.